Yes, of course, another nerve-wracking intensity of extreme football is upon us again this weekend. And of course, teams are looking to bounce back from defeats, and other teams are not even showing a glimmer of hope, especially with their fans hoping for another heartbreak. But right here at TVC Breakfast Saturday, we feel no pressure at all to bring you the best of extreme entertainment. Of course, with the best of extreme intriguing news headlines from sports, I got my very, very fabulous co-host right here with me. Cheers, Adibanjo. What's up?
I'm fine, thank you. Always looking fab.
All right, now quickly we move on to our first story. Let's bring you news from the rugby world as South Africa's rugby stars received a dream homecoming in Pretoria on Thursday as thousands of fans took to the streets to watch their open-top bus parade after winning the World Cup. The result meant South Africa became the first nation to win the Rugby World Cup 4 times as they retained the title they won in 2019. The
Springboks.
Now, it's like South Africa are saying, look, football, you guys can take it. But you see this rugby, no way. Nobody's coming close.
We die here. The Springboks are one particular team that, you know, they impress me a lot.
All right.
When you look at rugby, the household names, you have New Zealand, you have Australia, and then you talk about South Africa. Springboks are amazing. And the fact that they've won it 4 times goes to show that, look, these guys are they've taken this sport seriously. Football is there, of course. They play football. They have fantastic stadiums. But when it comes to rugby, they don't joke with it at all. And look at it from a black country. You know, you expect that, okay, maybe they probably be the whooping boys or they would just be there floating around in the competition. But they take it so seriously that they are champions.
What I find interesting is that now we understand that South Africa seems to have a very fantastic structure with rugby.
Yeah.
Why are other countries who have interest in the sport are not looking at the model they're actually operating with and decide to go through with it?
You just mentioned something, interest. Some countries are not interested. We look at Nigeria, for example. I remember, wasn't it last year or 2 years ago, where on the island or so, a particular organization was creating an opportunity for people to come learn how to play rugby. And the turnout was very, very low. So its interest is exposure to the game itself, and if you're interested in you know,
but you can't blame it on the people coming to watch the game. If you do a very good publicity, you do it in a fantastic PR. You tell people why they
even have stadiums for rugby.
Okay, I think that's another fact.
Not just your regular football pitch.
All right, well, we'll move on to the next story now, as of course it's very interesting. Our UFC president, Dana White, has admitted Francis Ngannou running Tyson Fury close in the boxing ring was crazy. Now, of course, he cut ties with the UFC after a contractual dispute, but Dana White is saying that for Ngannou to have gone 10 rounds with Tyson Fury was unbelievable. Of course, the bout actually sent shock waves across the whole continent as, you know, he actually gave a fantastic hook. Fury suffered that hook in the 3rd round, and everybody is already talking. Now, there were a number of issues regarding that fight. Some felt, look, Ngannou was robbed. Some felt, you know, Tyson Fury was lucky. But hopefully, if we can establish contact with Bamidele Bakari, who would come back to give us a bit of some kind of, you know, steam on it, maybe we might have a few stuff to talk about.
Proper insight on how
but let's look at the fight, you and I. You saw that fight. I saw the fight, and I saw Ngannou going all the way with Tyson Fury. For me, Tyson Fury actually ran down Deontay Wilder. I saw that fight. But Tyson Fury was just not able to do that against Ngannou.
It was different,
Ngannou was not intimidated by Tyson Fury. Was Mike Tyson a factor here?
I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
We've always seen Mike Tyson being involved with things like this. And the fact that he was very much interested in this fight. I'm very, very happy about it. And at the same time, I would love to say Tyson Fury won the fight, but Ngannou won the battle. Of course, the people's champion as well. In the 3rd round, we could see that knockdown, where even Fury himself attested to the fact that he was surprised to see himself get knocked down by Ngannou and all of that. And then in the 1st round, it was all Tyson Fury. In the 2nd was where Ngannou came aggressively, and that led to the knockdown in the 3rd round. And he held his own well through the course of the fight and the rounds and as well. But I felt somehow maybe the boxing hierarchy would not have loved to see a headline have a UFC fighter beat the world, you know, world champion in terms of boxing. So it wouldn't have looked it wouldn't have had a good look. It wouldn't have, you know, given a very good look to the boxing world. So maybe they just wanted to keep it like that. But honestly, people are not impressed. And I wasn't even happy myself. I felt that wasn't fair Ngannou.
That wasn't fair to Ngannou. Oh, I just hope we're establishing contact with Bamide Bakari on the Zoom link to actually get us through with this. But I saw the fact that Ngannou was calling out AJ. Did you think that was disrespectful in your opinion? I mean, you just won a fight. We understand that fight was almost looking like an exhibition. I mean, now you're calling out a heavyweight champion who has fought all his life.
Yeah.
Just because you have just tasted
He just fought a heavyweight champion too, in Tyson Fury.
So you don't think that's disrespectful?
Well, if you look at it from the angle of Anthony Joshua is still trying to get back into shape. You want to say maybe it's disrespectful this fact, maybe he's down already and then you're knocking him down again. But no, it's boxing, it's the industry. You can call out anybody if you are up to the task. So I don't see it as anything.
Okay, moving forward, before we ride on from this story, because it appears we've got a lot of issues to talk about today. Now, moving on from this, now, what do you think will be the future of boxing going forward? Do you think it's going to be really watered down with all this cross-bouting and cross-fighting from MMA to boxing? I mean, can't we just allow boxing to breathe and let's enjoy the heavyweight champions that are still there, that are looking to sustain the legacy and the pedigree of the sport? I mean, if we keep having these guys crossover, I mean, don't you think that's going to be a bit of an issue moving on?
Well, if you notice, things are changing. Things are changing. Models and, of course, the modern way. It's affecting every sport, from football to boxing, everywhere. You have to, I don't know how to put this now, maybe change with the times and develop yourself as well. I've complained about this several times, but then it sounds like a broken record where you're always complaining. The sport itself, it's an entertainment where you're supposed to enjoy yourself, aside from the fact that it's quite professional too at the same time. But money is involved. As long as money is involved, I'm sure every deal will be accepted. Look at the amount of money that was spent in this fight in particular, or was spent in this fight in particular, in Saudi Arabia. It was a fantastic fanfare, the reception itself, and the fact giving them the celebrity welcome and all of that. That's what they're looking for. As long as you can do these things and earn a lot of money, millions, nobody cares at this point. Nobody cares.
Wow.
Of course, boxing still keeps its core. You have the likes of Canelo, Bivol, and co. They are still fantastic. Even Crawford and co. They're still wonderful boxers out there, still doing the fight. The crisscross is once in a while. We're not seeing it as consistent as especially.
You have talked about money. You can't tell me you can't see it as consistent, because now that money is in the picture, you start seeing fighters rising and saying, I can beat...
That's futuristic. The last time we had something like this was Mayweather and McGregor.
Yeah.
And this is second, and that was years ago. Years ago. The years apart from now, that was years ago, trust me. And now we're having this. I do not know if any other UFC fighter would feel bold enough to say, okay, I want to do this maybe in the next 2 years. Because when I look at them, maybe Adesanya, I don't think he has any interest in that. Usman, I'm not too certain. So it depends. If you're interested, if you want it, why not?
All right, if you're interested in one, before we finally ride off, Toyosi, if you were to actually give Ngannou his, cards moving forward now, do you think he should just remain in the MMA, settle disputes with Dana White, or better still continue on this trail of glory that he has just back
I think
on?
before this, before the match last week, he was supposed to have a promotion match come next year. I think he should just focus on that and stay as a UFC fighter or MMA fighter. There's no point moving to boxing.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. I don't think.
With all what he did, you're telling me that all the hours he spent, with all the days he spent with Mike Tyson, you think he's going to throw all that away and go back to MMA? Because Mike Tyson obviously has shown him...
What is he throwing away?
The thing is, look, whether you like it or not, Tyson has shown him that you can do this. And the moment you implant that belief in someone, it's going to be hard to take it away.
I'm sure McGregor would say the same thing, that he was motivated. He can.
I saw McGregor's fight against Mayweather. Let's be fair. I mean, Mayweather outclassed McGregor. Even though he got a few moments in that fight, you could tell he was not a boxer. Mayweather has been fighting all his life. I mean, you cannot compare, whether we like it or not. But I saw Ngannou and Tyson Fury, and Ngannou was close. That's the thing.
So you